This is Asia's largest artificial river, which spans over 285 kilometers in length and costs an unbelievable amount of $650 million US, in a country where people can make as little as $63 a month. So what exactly is the point of this river and why is it so expensive? This is the Koshtepa Canal, located in the northern end of Afghanistan, and it'll be the first man-made canal ever to be built in the country. Across the mountains of the desert land lies the Amu Darya River, the largest river in Central Asia, that not only marks the northernmost border of Afghanistan, but also supplies water for 43 million people living in an area called the Aral Sea Basin. You see, this river is what most people of Afghanistan rely on, but in recent years, access to this water has become increasingly difficult. That's where the Koshtepa Canal comes in, as the goal of the project is to divert 20% of the Amu Darya's water across the provinces of Balkh, Jowzjan, and Faryab. With construction starting in 2022, the project is far from completion and is currently only in phase 2 of 3 of its development. These 3 phases were introduced for the sole purpose of staying as cost-effective as possible to prevent the possibility of throwing themselves into a financial crisis. Essentially, attempting to complete the entirety of the project in one go would cost significantly more, but with this system, the cost will be split in 3 phases, making it much more economically viable. The first phase will cost 8 billion Afghanis, or around the equivalent of $100 million US, whereas phases 2 and 3 will be funded by the selling of mines, totaling an estimated cost of around $650 million US. As of November 25, 2022, the project was merely 25% of the way through its first phase, which consists of the canal starting at the Amu Darya River and ending at the Dalwadabad district of Balkh, covering a total distance of 108 kilometers in phase 1, whereas phase 2 starts all the way from Balkh and ends in the plains of the Andoy district of the Faryab province, covering the final 177 kilometers, and phase 3 will consist of the creation of agricultural lands and distributing the water to them. Upon completion, the third phase of the project will irrigate approximately 580,000 acres of land in the desert. This will have a major impact for numerous reasons because as of January 2023, 40% of the country's population face some sort of food insecurity problem, leading to a mass hunger crisis. But after phase 3, Afghanistan's increased amount of usable farmland space will be at its peak. Currently, just under 60% of the land in the country is considered to be agricultural land, although a mere 12% is actually usable. This river provides a potential solution to the hunger crisis, as the mass amount of new farming space will give the country the ability to multiply production in ways never done before. The Koshtepa Canal is already starting to stretch this number with the installation of pipelines as the project progresses. The pipeline will not only make the lives of farmers easier, even with the current low number of villages that are already provided with new pipelines, but they will also resolve many issues within villages that face challenges retrieving water on a daily basis. The areas have been noticing drastic economic benefits, but to accomplish such large amounts of pipeline installation, construction consisted of removing up to 35 million cubic feet of soil daily, all while using equipment that in some cases dated back to as far as the 1960s. One of the largest issues that Afghanistan has faced within the project so far is the river's vulnerability to erosion. So in order to prevent this, the country planted thousands of trees along the canal's borders. Through planting such a large amount of trees, a massive underground root system is created, which works to hold the soil in place and protect the river. But that wasn't the only attempt Afghanistan made to protect the canal, as they even tested the reliability of surrounding soil by planting a variety of crops, and it was a huge success. The increase in farmland along the river as well as the water itself will completely transform the desert into land which is habitable for humans, providing substantial economic benefit. One of the largest focuses of this farmland is the growth of grains and wheat, as Afghanistan is aiming to become a large-scale wheat exporter by 2028. In addition to the countless people who will receive food as a result of the canal, the project has also created a large influx of financial opportunity for every district involved, providing jobs to over 4,000 workers who are spread out across over 100 unique work sites. On top of this, once the construction is complete, the surrounding farmland will provide many jobs well beyond the project itself, such as employees for produce markets and farmers themselves to operate the farms. But regardless of the massive scale of the project, 4,000 employees is still a massive amount. So what exactly does this complex construction process look like? In the early stages of development, the river was split into 114 segments, each of which is separated by a small dirt wall, just wide enough for vehicles to access. This segmented strategy allows for the artificial river to be constructed in smaller sections, preventing any issues from affecting the project on a large scale, as instead, in most cases, any issues that arise will only impact the section which they occurred in. Once the section is finished, the dirt wall is removed, and the water from the Amu Darya River can flow further into the new artificially constructed path, gradually expanding the total length of the Koshtepa Canal. Along the side of the river, each contractor has several excavators placed in a perfect line in order to maximize digging space, while leaving room for trucks to come in and get filled. These trucks take their loads and dump them in designated spaces nearby, in order to keep the construction space clean and organized. Once the section has been effectively cleared out by the excavators, they are moved to repeat the process on another section, currently working towards the phase 2 goal of expanding the river 177 kilometers further, bringing it to the total of 285 kilometers. Outside of creating the river itself, one of the largest aspects of the project was creating 14 hydraulic gates, each of which has a bridge on top for vehicles to use, although this is not their primary purpose. These gates are used to prevent flooding from the Amu Darya River, as it rises throughout the changing seasons of the year. This could lead to huge and potentially irreversible damages to the artificial river that is set to help countless people through greater access to water. But not only will the canal have a huge positive impact on the country's horrible water situation, but by the end of the project, energy will be at an all-time high due to Afghanistan's new initiative to introduce green energy through the use of solar panel fields near the canal. However, as life-changing as this project will be for the Afghans, other countries have expressed that they are concerned with the creation of the artificial river. You see, the Amu Darya River isn't anywhere near 100% owned by Afghanistan. In fact, only 14.5% of the river's flow is formed in the country. The river as a whole is actually shared by 4 other countries, with these being Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, where 72% of the river's flow is formed, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, where 8.5% of the river's flow is formed. With Afghanistan sourcing the water from the Amu Darya River, the Uzbekistan president, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, stated that this project may fundamentally change the balance of water in not only the Amu Darya River, but the entirety of Central Asia. In addition to his concern, President Mirziyoyev wanted to send a group of Uzbek engineers to Afghanistan for the study of the project's safety. This altercation sparked a field day for the media outlets, but these media outlets couldn't be more wrong about Afghanistan's relationship with other countries, as a spokesperson for the Afghanistan government cleared the concern with a statement. He stated that the project is a right of Afghanistan and made it known that the country's relationship with Uzbekistan is very friendly. Despite all of this, the project is still far from completion, with estimations of its finish date stretching anywhere from 2025 to as far into the future as 2028. It's exciting to see this mega project coming together, and it's just a matter of time until the river is complete and helping countless people in their everyday lives. If you want to stay updated on this project and others like it, make sure to subscribe and check out this video on the screen.